We be
live.
Oh shit! I gotta stop watching TikTok.
within the first 10 seconds.
Can we? Oh no! We're trying not to swear.
I didn't swear.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did.
You did.
Oh.
How am I not the one who broke the no swearing rule?
We blew it already.
Yeah.
He said blew it.
What's up, y'all?
Oh yeah, I gotta get back into our.
Oh yeah,
Hello, everybody.
let me share the link. Just
Yeah.
We got,
Yeah.
you got the scoops.
Oh no. Too much chair.
It's only.
Not enough people.
Welcome to the live stream, y'all.
Hello.
Welcome to the live stream.
We just did an hour private stream with some of the backers from the comic book campaign.
Thank you again.
Thank you guys. And then this is our public stream now. And in the intervening hour, preceding hour.
Preceding hour. Intervening.
In the preceding hour, you can probably tell by my misspeaking that somebody got a little drunk.
I fed him tequila.
It's her fault.
It's my fault.
You didn't
Yeah.
try it though.
No.
And
I'm
later,
driving in a couple of
It was
hours.
actually good, though.
later tonight, I will be making smoked whiskey for each of you, but I will only give you a tiny bit.
Thank
I don't
Here's
have.
what I'm gonna do.
I don't have to drive.
I'm gonna move this.
Okay.
So Nina and I will be getting a little toasty
Yeah.
for your entertainment.
We getting lit. I'm ready.
And yeah, so
Will you hand me my skull?
your skull.
No. The one I drink out of. I should give him a name.
Are you saying
Yorick, obviously.
Yorick? Oh, last poor
just
Yorick.
go.
The last poor Yorick. I knew him well.
Just go. Skull?
Where's your drink?
Skull.
You on the floor.
Oh, come on, Justin.
It's back there.
Hold my hand.
Oh,
Oh,
that's just
Cheers.
You guys are about to share a bunk for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
We're about to have our first road gigs with
Uh-huh.
Justin. He's about to learn what happens on the road.
together. Jesse and I will create the most powerful rhythm child ever.
Oh, Lord.
I call
You know-
top.
You know what happens on the road? We get back to the hotel around 3 a.m. We read comic books while someone's in the shower because we each take turns showering.
Not always. I've gone to 3 a.m. I crash immediately on the
Okay.
bed in my stage clothes.
Fair.
Oh.
Okay.
Mock from Toledo says Nina got a little head already.
I got a little. Yes, I love it. Actually,
Good
This-
work, Mock.
this skull is like,
It is about proportionate.
yeah,
to
to mine.
you. Yeah. Is that your twin?
Oh, I killed her. I killed
Took her
my
skull.
twin And took her skull as my
Waited till she
prize.
was adult enough to make a good drinking receptacle.
Well, I probably waited until she pissed me off enough.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's 4 swears in the.
Oh gosh darn it!
Really, she waited until she needed a kidney.
Right.
That's what twins
A
are best
liver.
for.
I needed a
liver.
liver.
Yeah.
I needed a liver.
So we just did the hour stream, and the stuff we tried to like speak and like do anything like official didn't come off as good as just being idiots.
I mean,
We're
Well,
idiots.
kind of.
We did it on a cappella performance because we had some song problems. But
Yeah.
to
So
attempt to be like a little bit, official for a second, we did release the digital copies of Queen of Hell Initium, the music and the comics and the bonus tracks today.
Yeah.
And I would say this was the longest, most harrowing, most difficult, but also maybe most rewarding project we've ever done.
This is the one where I'm like, this is the one where we're gonna bite off more than we can chew. And honestly,
We almost did.
Wait until the animated feature film.
Oh Lord, yeah. We did, in my mind, the Queen of Hell comic is sort of the storyboard for an eventual animated film.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Udaroth, the video, it's a perennial. It stands on its own, but it's also like a proof of concept for a Queen of Hell animated film. Should be a little more serious in tone, but I think
little
we
bit.
maintain Udaroth's penchant for,
It has to be funny because
brutality.
it has to be funny because it like you can't take this shit too.
You did it again.
This stuff
Well, the real
Seriously.
question is, did you mark this stream as safe for kids or no?
I don't know.
See, if we mark it as no, then it doesn't matter so much. But when you mark it as yes, there's consequences.
No. You mark it as not. It's not. No, it's not made for kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, which it is not.
Okay,
that's true.
if we're sure.
Anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
So Jesse joked, but I would eventually, and I do think it's possible that we could do a Queen of Hell versus Uteroth animated film someday.
I'm not joking.
So-
Actually, I'm thinking it's like this is a
It's a dream.
it's a dream, and I mean all of this is a dream, but like
Yeah.
like it's a head higher than the
Yeah.
comics that we've been doing, which have been so much fun
Well,
and
as
so hard to coordinate.
one of our good friends, Martin, said a long time ago, he said, "You're not trying to get signed, you're trying to get bought out." So Disney.
Yes. No, not Disney.
Not
It has to
Disney.
be
No, it can't be Disney.
who
Netflix doesn't pay anything, so we're not that.
no, who does Don Bluth films?
Paramount?
Paramount then. Oh yeah, Paramount did Lower Decks.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
canceled them after like 5 seasons.
Yes, but and they're doing Beavis and Butthead. So
Nice.
Paramount,
Max?
we are very.
Who has
no,
Hellboy?
it's HBO
Huh?
Max.
Who has Hellboy?
I think Paramount.
Paramount has Hellboy?
I think. I don't know.
Anyways.
No. Twisted Pictures? I don't know. I have no idea. But Paramount, yes. If they can do Lower Decks, which is extremely dirty, then they can do Queen of Hell and Uteroth.
It's
Well-
like heaven if God was stupid.
We did technically release to Kickstarter backers the digital copies of Queen of Hell today.
Yes.
And this is 2025.
Y'all been
We've
waiting.
definitely, internally, we've definitely been working on this since at least 2013, maybe 2012.
Yeah.
We had an artist lined up, Paulina, in 2012, 2013, who did some concept design. She did the Queen of Hell armor back in 2013 or 2012. So I know.
That's the one in the sleeve. That's in the Queen of Hell like vinyl.
No, Nina drew that one.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
So Nina was the first person to ever draw the Queen of Hell. Paulina was the one who created the armor that's in the animated video
Mhm.
and who created Uteroth's design. I came up with a name for Uteroth. Nina and I agreed that we need to have a demonic adversary for the Queen of Hell.
The original design for Uteroth was that he be a short little gremlin man, kind of like Udo.
Because we named him after Udo Dirkschneider
Yeah.
from Accept. So the
Yeah.
idea was that he would look like he would look like Udo, basically. Like a demonic Udo. And
The hope was that we would get Udo to be his voice
Yeah.
someday.
and actually the first person to actually draw Uteroth was Dusan, our cover artist.
Yeah.
But he drew Uteroth as a human.
Yeah.
And he basically looks like Conan.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I like it.
But then Uteroth dies. He's killed by one of his slaves.
What?
Spoilers.
Oh yeah,
Spoilers.
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen
It's
the
not.
Uteroth
It's
music
not in
video,
the comic.
I didn't know any of this.
it's in the
Yeah.
Uteroth music video. The only thing people watch of ours.
It's
We
true.
told you to catch up on our back catalog.
Statistically
Jess.
speaking.
Statistically speaking, that's the one people watch.
And
Oh, you know what? One time, Kevin, our producer, was on a plane. He was on a flight, and he looks over, and there's this teenage boy watching the Uteroth music video, and he's like, "What the fudge?"
Baron, she can't call herself a queen if some fiery bent throws a flaming sword at her.
Okay.
What? No one's seen my Python the Holy Grail?
Oh, right.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
okay, fine.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's been a
okay,
while.
Okay.
I
you're
follow-
jumping around decades, dude.
I saw the comment. All right, and
Oh, I haven't been looking at
all right.
Yeah, potty mouth.
Putty.
Yes, correct.
It's
Yo.
a party, and everyone's invited.
What
We
would
should do-
Cap say about the language?
We should do our own Mystery Science Theater episode.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh yeah.
What would the
Can we
movie
watch
be?
Cremator? It's not gory. It's not
Well,
scary.
we need a film that's in the
It's
public
just
domain.
disturbing.
Oh,
It has to be
it
public
has
Yeah,
to be
domain.
public
Cremator. Cremator.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Okay, should we do our own Mystery Science Theater / Riff Tracks?
Oh my gosh, please.
Movie.
Yes.
You know they.
I've
they
watched
pre-write
so
their
many
shows.
terrible movies with
This-
the two of you.
So Cremator is it is a horror movie from the 1950s. It's about a Nazi who cremates people, and it takes
Oh, I
place.
thought this isn't funny though. Isn't this movie like super dark?
Yes, that's why it's cool.
How do we make it funny?
We talk about it because actually, okay. Here's the thing about this film. the main character is the bad guy, and he narrates the entire movie. So there are some very funny parts because he's a huge narcissist. And
Right.
he's also a huge dork. So he goes to, for example, he goes to spy on the Jewish people at their
Hold
their
on.
synagogue.
Let me just use your premise here, lol Holocaust.
No, it's lol this guy specifically.
Okay.
He goes to
I
the
think we're gonna pick a different movie.
he goes to, listen, he goes to the temple and he hears the rabbi sing and he thinks it's the most beautiful thing that he's ever heard. So then he goes and reports back to the Nazis and he's like, I went there
I'm
and
playing
it,
you off the Grammy Awards.
thank you. And he said, it changed my life. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And he was such a good singer. You would not believe what a good singer he is. And there
Stop
were
on the Academy Awards.
you know, let me finish.
No, we're not doing a Holocaust movie.
It's
for
not a
Grammys.
Holocaust movie. He doesn't participate. Well, he might later, but this is before that happens. He's probably like the one that they use to
This is a.
consult for the Holocaust.
I'm
All right,
with- I'm
well,
with you.
anyways,
This
we
is-
will
yeah.
find.
When did their career end? Well, I can pinpoint the night. It was.
The night, the second, 6:12 and like 35 seconds.
The movie was outlawed in
It
Czechoslovakia
was on video.
it was because the bad guy of the movie was a Nazi and the leader of Czechoslovakia at
I'm
the time
pretty sure that's
was a
also
Nazi.
as good as a swear word as far as getting an algorithm set on YouTube.
You gotta be
And-
kidding me because people talk about Nazis on
And,
on
yeah,
this freaking platform
Yeah.
all the time.
You heard it here. Our career is over.
Anyways,
Nice knowing
Yeah.
you.
Anyways.
Oh, I'm sorry. Slayer,
so
Slayer
moving
can
on.
do Angel of Death, and I
Yeah.
can't talk about Cremator.
Now, as you may have noticed, Josh has a guitar, as he is known to have.
Noodling.
We were trying to play some songs tonight, and we might be able to play bits and talk through them. However, we've encountered an issue with the stream. So this is something Josh and I will work out, and we will do another stream
Yeah.
when we figure it out.
You can hear guitar and you can hear bass,
But the moment
or you
Nina
can hear
sings,
vocals. As soon as she starts singing,
it noise suppresses everything else, and YouTube doesn't have a lovely. We're doing the simple person stream, so I will get OBS set up and the different audio feeds, and we'll do it right next time.
Oh, but yes, that's
Look,
what Josh has.
we even set up a drum set back
It's
here
IBS.
that we're not going to use.
we're back
Yeah.
to the previous
Full-
stream.
full-
I actually
Yeah,
have
it's hidden behind
OBS
him.
on my computer, but it's a desktop computer.
Well, it doesn't matter. The
We
point
have
is
Obstinate bowels.
we have to set it up right.
They just
So
refuse
that's
to
not
prove-
going to happen. But
But what we can do is sing the songs a cappella.
Yeah,
We're not doing
Listen,
a full
No, not all of
Initium
them.
acapella.
But we're
I
at
mean, that's
least
a whole
we're gonna
thing.
at least do one acapella because that was amazing.
Okay.
But we did promise VH1 storytellers, and so I do think we can talk about the songs, and hopefully some of y'all were able to listen to. Now, some of you should have your physical stuff. We don't know what percentage through the physical shipping we are, but hopefully some of you on the stream have your physical stuff, and everybody should have had a chance to get their digital stuff because we sent that out overnight. We sent the notifications this morning.
So you all should have been
Yeah.
listening to the music by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
Just
read the
realized I'm, like,
comics,
slipping like a
posture.
Quit shrimping.
Quit shrimping.
Quit shrimping.
Big shrimping.
So if you read the comic, the first 5 pages of issue 1 are the fight between Udaroth and Lucifer. And I guess we shouldn't spoil it in case there are probably some people who haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
But
So don't spoil it.
so the first song, and spoilers, like the idea for the whole concept is that the one song goes with one album, one issue of the comic, which is what we wanted to do with Shadow Man when we did Tales from the Dead Side. We were working with Valiant like well before their Shadow Man series finished, but their timeline, like, they didn't know what they were doing.
I think we wound up finishing before they did, right?
We needed to write the album.
Yeah.
Their timeline was a lot
It was shorter. Their
than ours.
timeline for Shadow Man the comic was shorter than ours. So we were like, okay, we're writing our album. What happens? And they're like, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
So
we
kinda
needed
had
like
to
6
wait.
months. They had like 2
Yeah.
to get all
So,
this done.
so we waited until they were done with the series, basically, to finish our record on Tales from the Dead Side. And then I'm really happy with the way we did it, but it ended up not being one song goes with one issue. So we just kind of picked topics from the series.
Mhm.
But then the series ended up being canceled by the time the album came out. So that
Well,
wasn't ideal.
I mean, it wasn't ideal, but we got a perfect, like, clean cut of like
A nice arc.
a nice art. We got the
Yeah.
Shadow Man, 2012 to 2013 arc
Yeah.
and everything as
Yeah.
one record.
Yeah,
Yep.
one Shadow Man 1 through 16, and End Times 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah,
and Shadow Man 0.
Yeah.
Which is actually the best issue.
Wow.
yeah. Actually, I agree. I love
Yeah.
that one.
Shots fired.
Yeah, that was Children of the Dark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was Shadow
No,
Man
it
0.
was. That is definitely my favorite issue. Yeah.
Yeah, the origin.
Mhm.
So that was cool. It was very, very cool. I really don't have any actual complaints, but it would have been even better if we had known what their entire storyline was before we started.
Mhm.
And that's just a function of of comic book writers, like of their timeline versus like our timeline is like writing and recording
Yeah.
music. So we needed,
We need like a year.
yeah.
That's when we realized, why not write our own comic? Then
basically.
we'll have full control.
We had already talked about doing it. It wasn't really until It Was Metal came out that we were like, no, we're going to do our own comic.
Yeah.
It Was Metal graphic novel was the test.
That was
Yeah,
the test.
But
But
those
what
of
a
you who
good
got that
test.
one know that it's like a specific issue per song on It Was Metal. Like
What I
the graphic
wanted-
novel, I love that. I
what
was
I-
so happy with that.
I was super happy with that too. What I
Mhm.
wanted for Shadow Man was to be ahead of the game. So when Shadow Man #1 came out, we could have been like, here's the song that goes with issue #1. And it comes out on the same day.
Right.
Yeah.
The day that,
That was
the day
something
the
we
comic-
talked about, like a QR code in the comic book and
Yeah.
everything that puts it right to the link
The
for
day
it.
the comic comes out, the single comes out, and there's a QR code in the comic that takes you to a song about that comic, and it's not some like licensed, like out of universe BS that fans can tell,
Mhm.
Right.
You can tell when like somebody writes something about in the Marvel universe or Valiant or DC or whatever, and it's not in continuity.
Oh,
it's
this
just
is
kind of their
not
own
a
thing.
spoiler for the Superman movie, but the Superman
No
movie.
spoiler for me!
No spoilers.
No spoiler for me!
It
It was
has
great.
a song that is made for the film, an original piece of music
By a fake band.
by a fake band. So
Yeah.
I love it when movies do that, when they don't just license a song and have it play for like flavor. I love it when they actually write a song for the movie, and it sounds just as good as like a real song.
See, I love
Yeah.
that for it. Like the Star Wars people did that with a couple of the Jedi games. They have the Who as a band called the Azagar,
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
they have like a couple of songs in Huttese.
Mhm.
Hold on a second. When you said the Who,
HU.
H-
the HU. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just imagining Pete Townsend.
Yeah.
Pete Townsend throat singing.
Yeah.
The Who's also at the start of that PlayStation game.
Oh
The
yeah.
Last Jedi,
Mhm.
or
No, it wasn't a Diablo.
maybe they're in more
The
than
Last Jedi, Jedi Survivor.
Jedi
Jedi
Survivor,
yeah.
Jedi Survivor, and Fallen Order.
Man,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
jealous
I
of the
love
Who.
those games.
I tell you what,
That's my like outside of like the comic production that we're
Jedi
doing.
Survivor. Is that the one where you're grappling, like it's like a puzzle to get to the next place?
It's like God of War style
Okay.
combat and like platforming at the same time.
Platforming. Okay, that game frustrated the hell out of me. I was like, I quit. I'm too dumb for this game.
This is
This
such
is
a
not fun.
this is such a good cross section of what it's like trying to organize an album with this band.
Right.
Like, oh, we're talking about how Queen of Hell came about. Wait, we're talking about Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's on me.
So I've been reading
Yeah.
the chat. So several people have got their digitals that we sent. Most of them are still waiting on the physical. And there's a few other things. So since this is about that, I know Josh, if you haven't seen it, he did a time lapse of packing one of the packages.
Mm.
But why don't you talk for just a second about like your process? And I know it's yes, packing a box, but like, so how do you keep order? How does Kickstarter work? How do you make sure people get? So the full disclaimer here, as I put in the chat, is this man right here is the full shipping and fulfillment department.
One man shipping.
We don't have any employees, and all
Or
of,
Amazon robots.
all of the merch is in my house. So for starters, the amount of items that we offered on Queen of Hell is the most we've ever offered, and it's actually more than will fit in a good organized way in my home.
Yeah, his
So,
home is atrocious.
Yes. It piles of merch, and so like ideally when it was like a smaller amount of items, I could set up an assembly line of all the items and they'd all be right there in one room. And now the assembly line is so big that it's kind of spread out between like 3 rooms and a hallway. So I bring up your order on Kickstarter, and there's 2 Kickstarter campaigns, so I have to have a tab open on my computer for both Kickstarter campaigns. And then we did the fulfillment through BackerKit, so I have both BackerKit campaigns open. I bring up your name, and I'm going in order on one of the campaigns. I check the other campaign to see if you have 2 pledges. Bring you up on BackerKit, one or both if you're on both, and I see the items list. And then I have to walk around my house. I have them as condensed as possible, but it's not very condensed. And I grab all the items, I bring them in, and there's been, almost any item that can be autographed, there's an option for a free autograph. So comic books, CDs, vinyl, cassettes, drumsticks, art prints, posters, they can all be signed. And if it's your choice, every single backer has their choice, signed or not.
There's another 3-hour live stream in our history of we did get some people to help us with autographs. By that I mean automating the process, not signing for us. So we had some helpers there, and we basically assembly lined on a table, just sliding down.
And that
that's
process,
on there.
we still only got through like it was
Half.
3 hours long. We got through 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think actually after doing that, I feel like we made enough progress that we know if we just do it that way again next time, we don't.
That's the first time we've ever done that in like the 15 years of band history.
Yeah, we never had any.
And
But we don't need to limit the autographs that much.
they
Next time.
made
Just a
me
little
sign
bit.
it, and I looked at how we did one day on our own, and I looked at how we were doing it, and I'm an engineer for my day job. I was like, this is not going to work.
Because what we would do before is we would lay out as many of whatever item it was on flat surfaces throughout my house, and then we would just walk from item to item, just go down a line and sign everything until we were done, and then collect them all and do it again.
But then there's a pause while you collect them all, etc. So in that stream you'll see, I mean, we had people doing all the moving for us, and it was 3 hours straight of just signing. So there was a lot for that. There's also a short time lapse of when we finished it when we didn't have helpers, which is kind of fun.
So anyways, all the stuff is signed now, but it's all laid out. But one of the things we don't have enough room to lay out is all the t-shirts. There's 4 different types of t-shirts, and they're in boxes because there's not enough surface area to just lay out every shirt in every size. So when I collect a shirt, I have to pick up big boxes and move them and grab the ones I need.
Okay, and then this is a total interjection, but this is now a few minutes old. Max said his wife's home with groceries. He needs to help. He turned up the volume. Yell, "Hi, Wendy!" in a few minutes. So on 3,
Yell what?
"Hi,
Hi,
Wendy!"
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah.
Oh, hi,
So,
Wendy.
Are you ready?
You ready for hi, Wendy?
1, 2, 3. Hi, Wendy! All right, we did it.
All right.
Anyways,
All right.
back to shipping. So
While you're telling your
so-
shipping story, I'm going to smoke some whiskey.
Okay, smoke some whiskey. We'll all try it.
Okay.
So I bring up the items that you have on BackerKit, and I check, and I have to pull them all one at a time. And the size box that I use varies for each backer, because even if you're in a tier, you'd think I could pre-pack all of the backers in one reward tier, but I can't because there's add-on items. So if you have a tier that would have fit in one box, but somebody added a big poster, now I got to use a different box. So they're all different, and that's kind of why it's taking forever. And I have to look, carefully to everybody's safe. When I'm pulling a CD, is it signed or not signed? Cassette signed or not signed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Shirt's got to be a different size, and then I have to weigh them all, and I'm manually weighing them, manually putting in the info for the shipping address. That's how it's going. Anyway, some days, I'll work for 5 or 6 hours on shipping a day. It's not 8 hours a day because I've got to do other things and keep the lights on. Occasionally I have to make money to, buy food and things like that. But
Posers.
in some days I'll work for, 4, 5, 6 hours on shipping. And some days that might only be 10, 12 packages. So that's why it's taken a while. But hey, You're getting it packed by the guitarist, all right? You pre-order Iron Maiden's album. You think Dave Murray's packing your pre-orders?
No one gives a crap about Dave Murray.
Yeah, Dave Murray.
Except for like the four of us.
Dave Murray's the fucking man.
Yeah.
Right? Legato King.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna
Number
be
6.
honest,
what I have
Adrian's-
here,
Adrian's the goat.
this is
I love it.
Patty's whiskey
I love it.
smoked with oak
I love you,
wood
Dave.
chips. So there we go.
Now, can we get back on track?
Yeah,
We were
drinking.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about how we wanted to do an issue per song or a song per issue on Shadow Man, but we couldn't because of the editorial timeline of Valiant.
Right.
So what we're doing with Queen of Hell is exactly what we had hoped to do with
It
Valiant.
smells incredible.
But honestly, it's even better. You want me to try it?
Take a sip.
It smells like a campfire. Like, it literally smells like a campfire.
It's Patty's with oak whiskey.
Mm.
Sorry, it's Patty's whiskey with oak chips.
Oh, it's funny. It's not warm. It's smoking, but it's not warm. It's kind of cool, actually. So we wanted to do an issue per
We're
song.
making it
Cheers, Joe.
old-fashioned, almost smoked old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Well, no bitters, but
I have
Yeah.
bitters if we wanted to, and cherries.
Anyways, you can see how albums get made.
It's killer.
Isn't that great?
God.
it's good.
It's so smooth.
They don't give a shit.
Raph says he had to put on a shirt, and he grabbed the new ASOT one from the Kickstarter.
Hell yeah.
So that's awesome.
Raph's in Germany.
Thank
you,
Raph. Thank you for joining us.
We also had a request to speak only in French so they can understand everything from
Aww.
Vincent.
Oh, that's Vincent Birard, who does the
Birard.
awesome
Yeah.
bead art. He does all that Valiant bead
Oh,
art.
yeah.
cool.
I'll be-
We all know who you are, Vincent.
Yeah.
I'll
You're
be
badass.
honest, my French would offend you and make you leave. So
No parlez-vous français.
yeah.
Um,
I'm going to apologize for
I
this
will.
ahead of time, but
I'll
I'm a
take
big
that
Deep Purple fan, and Ian Gillan always speaks in French, and his French is just, oh, ha, ha, sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Dick.
I know. Apologies. So anyway, God damn it, an issue per song.
Yeah.
And so Queen of Hell starts with Only One Can Rule, which is all based on just the first 5 pages of Queen of Hell Initium #1. It's the fight between Udaroth and Lucifer, which so you can see how horny he is already. He just doesn't give a shit. And Udaroth just takes out
Me?
Lucifer like
We're
a
hanging
chump.
on your
No.
every word.
Yes. Here's the thing. It hasn't been decided yet because we have rough outlines, but there's no script past issue 5, or the first issue of Act 2 has been written, but after that, I want Lucifer to come back. Here's what I'm thinking. We're in hell. We don't know the rules of life and death in hell. Because you're already in hell.
Also,
I
we're
agree
writing a
with
comic.
you. I agree with you, but I think they need to do something to bring back Lucifer.
Okay, but hear me out.
I agree.
We don't
I
know.
don't think that I think we're spoiling things that don't actually haven't been written yet.
I don't think this
Yeah.
hasn't been decided.
No.
Yet. This is just a concept that, as the editor,
Creative director.
Creative
okay,
director. Yeah.
whatever. It's kind of
Also the editor of the comic book, but the creative director of the project.
it's Nina's initial story.
Right.
We spitballed a lot of stuff between us. I'm the editor, kind of creative director of the project. But Rafer is the writer and the
You
script
are.
writer.
You are.
I'm the sandwich maker.
No, what do you?
Yeah.
Who's the person that reads the comic and then checks for mistakes?
He's Jesse's the gopher.
Proofreader.
Yeah.
Proofreader.
Or an,
Lucifer could be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's been
Well,
decapitated.
alive.
Hold on, but
He's an angel.
he's been decapitated.
Yes.
But
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying
for a second.
he comes back TMNT Krang style in a suit, a demon armor suit, and it's just his head.
His head.
His head inside the demon armor suit.
I might have to pull a no on that one.
What's why?
I think that's too goofy. And
That was
also,
like too goofy.
I will tell you why. Because I would be cool with Lucifer's head going on some body. Like if
Hold on.
what if his guy
Excuse
is-
me. You
yeah.
made me write a.
I love goofy shit. The number one thing that Lucifer must always be is sexy. So
Okay, but he does have somebody. Now this is spoilers. I don't want to say who,
yeah.
but there is somebody in this universe that cares about him
Exactly.
and
So
would want to preserve his head if his head
so
is
I
some
could
head
totally see his head
Like-
being
like
going on
in a
another
jar.
body.
Nixon's
Another
head
body.
in a jar.
Right?
That's
No,
Lucifer.
another body, and then they
Yeah.
stitch you here, and it's all gnarly and nasty
Okay,
and shit. That would be
but
cool.
here's what I'm saying. It's comic books.
Yeah.
why make a comic book if we're not going to do comic book shit? Put him in some demon armor. Put him in his tummy.
I don't like
We
that.
already are in a universe of tummy skulls
I
because
don't-
Udaroth has a tummy skull.
I agree with that. If it was just the skull of Lucifer
By the
in
way,
the
that's
tummy
our
of
new
a creature,
our
then
new
I
imprint
like
is
that.
the tummy,
Tummy
skull,
skull?
universe.
Skull universe. Now, a big buff demon with the skull of
That's
Lucifer,
what I'm saying. It could be a demon.
that would be cool.
They would take the demon's head off because they don't need the demon to have a head.
No,
anymore.
no, no. It's got to have like a
It's just a
sexy
body.
face. It's got to have a sexy face.
The face is down here.
No, I guess that's okay.
There's
It
like
just
Ichabod
doesn't-
Crane.
it doesn't
ass,
seem
like,
very
headless
regal,
horseman
and
armor.
and if Lucifer had his way, he
Okay,
would
fine.
always
So
be regal.
it could be a big box up here on top of the demon body.
We're
With
arguing
Lucifer.
about something that like the fans have not read yet.
No,
This
that-
is not an argument.
Listen,
this is
you've had
this
6
is
hours to read it.
creative. This is not an argument. This is how creatives
Yeah,
like come up
anyway.
with ideas.
So, getting back to this, Only One Can Rule was one of the first songs we wrote musically. I remember writing it in the basement. It was one of the first songs after our last move. We moved houses, and it was me and Chris in the basement, actually. We came up with most of the music together. He had just one drum fill. When we got to the studio, the drum fill ended up evolving and becoming, not the same every time. But I remember, like, off the top of my head, it was just that was how it started.
Those chords make me so happy.
Oh, weird notes.
Yeah, weird notes.
And then when we got to the studio, then it became dive bombs. and
Yeah, yeah.
harmonies.
Which I love. I love what it turned into.
Pick slides, flat vibes.
Remember, sorry, if you're gonna play default,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Evil. We had Rostinato.
Josh is so excited about this. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things we've done.
And harmonize it, because you gotta harmonize it.
So like only one can rule. Like I'm so glad that we got an animatic video for that one done. Because if we're not going to have like a full animation for it, like that one came out so well.
I can totally see that, like Heavy Metal the movie.
Oh,
Like you could just start. You come over the mountaintop, like in Heavy Metal.
heavy
it's-
metal.
I see it's the scene. It's Blue Oyster called Vengeance the Pact, where they come over and it's like Arzak. They're the girls on the bird. And there's a war happening. Except for you just come over the mountainside and it's Udaroth versus Lucifer, and that's how it starts. Demons versus angels. But that's the part of the story that song takes place in. So this riff was there from that first jam with Chris. And then we had to figure out guest singers. We got Nina as the third person narrator and Queen of Hell, sort of. Mostly third person narrator on that song.
Yeah.
But somebody needed to play Udaroth and somebody needed to play Lucifer.
Can I interject on Udaroth?
Yes.
Like I was like we got Matt Slevin to do Udaroth.
Yeah.
And
It was I love what he did, but
so good.
we went through several people trying to find Udaroth.
We were
Yeah, Jorn Land was one that we went after, and he was busy. It wasn't like we wanted Jorn and Matt was our second pick. It's like they were both great, but
yeah.
Jorn I thought of him first.
Yeah. My first thought was Devin Townsend, which was
We did. We asked
it was
Kevin
a
about
hard pitch
trying
for
to
that
get
one.
trying to get Devin.
Yeah.
He actually
Yeah.
went to his management.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't pan out.
Yeah. But
Who
Matt,
else did we go through? Anybody else
I
on
didn't
this
even know
song?
that.
that was
So
was
he responded and thought about it?
our
the
his
manager
management, like did.
His management saw us and was like,
I think
no.
Dev only works with people who like he's working at a like another project with right now. So
Yeah, he's got his hands full.
yeah,
He's doing enough.
right. But Matt's just, I was not ready for that when he came in. Like that was so cool looking at that
Yeah.
first mix with him.
One of
Jesus.
the most interesting things to me was we wanted somebody with like a more clear voice for
Mhm.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
Because Lucifer is an angel.
Yeah.
He's a fallen angel. So we were thinking like less grit.
Fabio Leone.
Udaroth
Fabio.
would be the gritty voice.
Yeah.
And I knew Matt's would do fine.
Yeah.
Actually, the person that recommended Matt's, I was aware of him from Yngwie Malmsteen and Candlemass.
Candleman.
But the person that recommended him was Kim Dilla, who was Volvatron and Guar.
Yes. Yeah.
She knew Matt's, and she was like, Matt's will do it.
Oh.
Have
And
you
he
ever
was-
been to Guar Bar?
I've never been.
We had
We were
a
trying to
war
go.
bar,
Right.
remember?
Yeah.
They were closed at the time because
Yeah.
When we were playing
We're in
Richmond
Richmond.
last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they
Like,
didn't open until after our load-in time in Richmond. That's why we didn't go to Guar Bar.
we.
Oh, I thought I'm sitting there. I'm like, what do you mean? Because I went for like 4 hours after our show.
Yeah, because they were open
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you went
not
after.
before.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know you guys went there.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was an experience. Good is
The other
Good is relative.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
as relative.
I mean, it's water. Good is
I guess
relative.
the other person in the mix on Only One Can Rule was Udo Dirkschneider
Yeah.
because
he was the inspiration.
because Udo was the namesake for Udaroth.
Mhm.
Udaroth is named after Udo Dirkschneider
And
Udo
Eli
Roth.
Roth.
and Uli John Roth
Uli John.
from the Scorpions. So we were like, maybe him, but not voice wise, it didn't fit. But now we have Udo Dirkschneider in mind for Nyux, the Frogman. So when you read, mostly in issue 4, you'll meet Nyux.
Mhm.
And there's a bonus track on Demons, the bonus CD, which you all should have digital copies of. The Nyux song is on Demons, and I think Udo would be a great Frogman.
I agree. Power of the
It
Frog.
would, Power of the
The
Frog.
power of the frog.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so was there anybody else in the mix as far as singers? Who else did we talk about? You wanted somebody with a deeper voice.
yes.
You were talking about the guy from Metzatal, right?
That's right, yeah.
I wanted.
There's a bass singer. Nina wanted a bass singer. I was more
Bass.
concerned with grit, and Nina was more concerned with range.
Yeah,
Which was
because
a
I never
deeper.
sing with basses ever, because there are very few basses in heavy metal.
Yeah.
So that would have been nice.
But what I was going to say was interesting was that Fabio Leone ended up turning in like kind of a gritty performance.
Yeah, he
It was-
did.
It was unexpected.
Yeah,
And
it's like
also-
he was gonna be like a badass Lucifer instead of like a pretty one, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah. And one of the things that was really cool, I've got to give Nina props here. And one of the things that I thought was cool about putting out the demo CD, that was kind of a risk to me, like putting out the demo CD with right when we put out the original album. That's like the bonus tracks. But Nina sang all 3 parts. So Fabio Leone, his singing is her part. She basically sang the guide track for Fabio. And he did it note for note.
He did it.
And I feel like we got to his, like he could not have gone a half step higher.
Yeah,
He got to the top of his range because Nina's range is a
I
little
pushed
higher.
him.
You
I
can
pushed
hear,
him.
but I like that the little bit of struggle, but he gets there.
Yeah,
So he gets to the
Sounds so good.
absolute top of his range,
yeah.
singing Nina's part. And
What a dream.
And there's a few moments in the song where it's actually 3-part harmony with Nina, Fabio, and Matt's.
Yeah, what a dream.
Yeah.
Now to get them on stage with me.
Yes. Yes.
70,000 tons of metal 2026.
Yeah, somebody please book us for that cruise. We would have.
Yeah.
Listen, I will never go on a cruise for fun, but
Except for
70,000
Same.
tons, that's not for fun. That is for metal. So I will never like go on vacation on a cruise, but if they were like, hey, you want to play? 100%. I would
Well,
love that. That's a dream.
We could actually do it now because our
Oh, yeah.
former drummer, Chris had horrible seasickness.
Yeah.
He could never, he was like, don't even apply, I won't do it.
Oof.
So if you can do it, now we actually could play on a ship.
I've never been on a cruise, but I've never gotten seasick from.
Oh, thank you, honey. They didn't ring the doorbell. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you, honey. Well, we have pizza now. And lasagna, because Justin doesn't eat pizza right now. Explain why you can't eat pizza right now, Justin.
That's
I will be right back.
Long story.
He made a bet.
I made a bet.
A pizza
bet.
for not,
Pizza pact.
not eating it for a year.
So other little things on it, Only One Can Rule. I don't know if you have any bass stuff you want to play, Jesse, but there's a little tiny Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner quote in Only One Can Rule.
So
you know what I'm talking about?
That's
You hear it?
I hear it now.
Oh, quote. thought you meant quote in the lyrics, and I was like scanning through the very little lyrics I have memorized in my head. That's a good question. How many of the songs do you know the lyrics for all the way through? Do you like internalize them all or no?
Most of them, yeah. Actually.
You do? Do you?
No.
No.
I'm listening to Nina as much as I'm listening to the two of you. So like I've got to know where she is.
So
I
what's
try as hard as I can not to hear either of you.
what,
Same.
what's funny is when I like listen and I'm learning a song,
Jeez,
or if I
take
sit in the
Take the floor,
car,
gentlemen.
I hear what Nina says and I listen to it then. But like when we're actually playing, I don't know what word she's saying, right? And it's not because you're not clear. It's like that with every band I've ever played with. Like there's just vocal melodies that are, I'm like, that's where we are.
Am I the only person in the band that's listening to like all three of the other people at a time?
Yes.
In any band? Okay, sure.
Raph said he just saw Maiden on Friday. I wonder how was the new show, and
You saw Maiden on this last tour, right?
well, I saw them on their last tour with Nico McBrain.
Right.
So I haven't seen them with the new drummer or with they're apparently doing a big digital screen now.
Okay,
But
next whiskey is going to be Patty's with smoked pecan.
Sip. I'm not drinking.
That's
the whole-
okay. You
I'm
don't
not
have to
drinking
drink the whole
entire
thing.
things.
No, we're gonna share it. We're gonna share it.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. I know like the choruses for sure,
Right.
but I don't think I could quote many verses.
Hand that to me. I'm terribly afraid of that setting the plush on fire here.
Now,
So-
Nina, do you know most of the lyrics to the songs?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Most of them.
Yeah. Well,
if
sometimes I practice. She is there on her phone.
Listen,
like,
it's hard to memorize them all,
I believe you.
but I like to do it with what do you call it? Muscle memory. Like I want them memorized so much that I don't even have to think about it.
See, Jesse wishes I did that with the drum fills, but I play them differently every single time.
Oh no, I love that.
Just to mess with it.
Okay, so when we play songs live versus what's on the record, we almost never, at least me and Justin, I think Josh kind of improvises stuff too. After you,
all
sir.
the time.
After you, sir. But
I'm
like,
eating pizza on the stream.
oh yeah, it's
I
the
don't know if
same.
you guys are.
Next stream is gonna be a Sound of Thunder mukbang. So we're just gonna like
Mukbang.
stuff our faces and everything.
All right. Here is the pecan.
That smells good.
But we
Smoky.
have like the stuff that you. That's why you should come and see us live. because
Yeah,
we're
come
not
see us
playing-
live.
Nina's doing the same lyrics most of the time.
Most of the
And, but we're making stuff up as we go along, so you're not going to hear the exact same set as you heard last time.
I think the oak was better to taste.
So Justin's not allowed to eat pizza. Does it make me a dick if I do this?
Yes,
Stop
it does.
it! He's got lasagna.
Paisano's lasagna is incredible. By the
Is
way.
it? I've never had it.
Yeah.
All right, what am I drinking?
This
This
is
time?
Something.
whiskey with smoked pecan.
I smell the smoke.
We got a pizza and whiskey.
Hell yeah.
I like it. I know.
Okay.
That's actually a
I'm
good
not
combo.
saying it.
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah,
combo.
for the thread.
So
what
Snake
Brendan-
Guy said. So what Brendan Small said was true.
You got to enlighten us on what
Enlighten
Ryan Small
us.
said
Yeah,
on this one.
because he said many things that I agree with. Mostly about drinking bleach. No, you gotta drink the bleach.
You gotta eat one
Very
big
old
meal
school
right
movie
before you go
songs,
to
Fear
bed.
of the Dark. They played both around Ancient Mariner and Seventh Son, but spent the night at the station with 3 hours sleep the next day. You know what? Like, I'm kind of glad that like I want to see. I want to go see Maiden again. It would be like I've seen them twice.
We should have gone on the last tour with Nico.
Dude, I caught Nico's drumstick and I
Hmm.
gave it away to this little kid. Like,
Why did you do that?
Sure.
Dumbass.
He's
I
never
know.
gonna appreciate it like you will.
Snake Guy said the improvising.
Is he one like is Brendan one of those guys that's like it's boring to do the same song night after night because that's kind of how I feel about it. like before I joined these guys, I was in cover bands and jam bands, and my God, playing the exact same thing rigidly night after night
That would drive me insane.
bores the hell out of me. So the idea of doing I'm going to do what I want to do in the moment, and I'm not necessarily going to keep it lined up the way that I did on the record.
Yeah.
Unless it's very sonically important, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah,
So.
I feel like there's a balance between having fun with it and ruining it, right?
Right.
And so for me on drums, obviously I'm big and loud, and there's pros and cons with different approaches. If the guitar misses a note, it goes by so fast that in most cases people don't notice that much, right?
I do.
I know you do, but I've seen, and
One note wrong, I beat myself up for 3 days after the show.
that's
I feel that.
why he's so bruised. But
So Bruce,
But and then you'll see guitar or bass, if a string goes out of tune or something, hold a chord for a second, tune it up in the middle. It happens. If the drummer seriously messes up and goes out of time, the whole band is off, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm always balancing that, and it's live. It's sometimes fun to throw in a drum fill that's right on the edge of your ability. You're I don't know if I'm gonna land this one,
Mhm.
but you only do that in one spot. It's not
Right.
every verse, not every And whenever I do it, Jesse turns around and he's like,
yeah, when we do it in rehearsal and everything, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's because he'll but okay. He will do these things in rehearsal specifically to mess with us, with me and Josh in particular. It's oh, we're doing a completely different drum fill, or you're doing this backbeat version of what you would otherwise do, and I'm trying to keep up with what you know.
I don't do that stuff. So if you guys were to see rehearsal, there's 1 or 2 songs typically where the drums are simpler than the other songs, where I'll reverse the snare and the bass randomly just to throw them off for fun.
Right.
And if we make it through on that, though, I'm just saying when we play it straight live,
It's gonna be
easier.
easy.
It's
Yeah.
easier. Yeah.
I feel like you're testing me when you do that.
I kind of am.
Can he
It's like
maintain
he's-
focus enough to not fuck up?
Yeah,
like-
because I expect you to count.
Yeah.
I've noticed it.
Oh yeah.
Or the drum fills in behind the light.
Hmm.
So normally there's on the record
That's
and
killer
live,
too,
it's a drum fill section. In one practice recently, instead of doing drum fills, I just did your standard jazz beat.
Right.
Josh turned around, he's like, "What's going on?"
I will. A lot of the songs live, will play my solo just completely improvised every night. Since I know what the chord changes are, I can improvise them. There's two ways to look at that. One of them I really respect is Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult. He's one of my favorite guitarists, and he said it's like going to work. You got to get to work, but there's no rule that says you have to take the same route every day.
Right.
Right. So you
I like that.
You play the song. You got to get from point A to B and make it still sound like the song. But there's no law that says you can't take a little side trip here and there and make a little deviation. Right.
Yeah.
I really like that. Another one was KK Downing, who's also one of my favorite improvisational guitarists from Judas Priest. Glenn Tipton's solos are always locked in, and he plays them as written. KK would just go off and just go whammy bar and wah wah pedal and just shit tons of delay and just go off. But with him, he would say some nights it would be great, some nights it would be terrible. I don't want to go that far.
That's the risk when you do this. And
I want it to be some nights it's great, and some nights it's just okay. But
Oh.
I don't want to get into terrible.
Woof.
All right, I've got a fun question based on that. And for me, this is actually new info because it would have been Chris for most of this, but I can give my version of it. So anytime you improvise, or even when you don't, one of my best memories is my dad and I went to see Tool play in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'd seen them multiple times. They're always technically impressive, except this night, Danny Carey came out of a fill early on Vicarious, and they were all off, train wrecking the song, right? to the point where Maynard goes in the mic and he goes, "What the fuck are we doing, guys?" Right? and then
That's more train wreck than we've ever done.
right. But the issue is with those songs, like, for example, a few nights ago, I actually missed a beat in Only One Can Rule. But I was able to find where to come back because it's all 4/4 and it's a like pretty standard structure. In something like a Tool song, if you get off, you're done. So they ended up saving the song without stopping by jumping forward to a syncopated spot. It's more background than people need. Point is, what is like your biggest on stage mistake? Because it happens to every band, right?
Oh well, the biggest onstage mistake, just in general, is when you jump ahead in the arrangement, which like you go from you're supposed to go verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2, bridge, and sometimes you go verse 1, chorus 1, bridge. Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to swear or go there yet in the song, so that'll happen a lot. Also, I have a weird.
A lot?
No, I
It doesn't happen a lot. Like,
well,
it's
it'll
like every
for split second.
Yeah, I mean that's.
They might not notice.
So there's never been one where you're like, I'm completely
I don't think
lost
we've.
right
I don't think we've ever had
No.
like
We've
an
never been
absolute
totally
train
lost.
wreck.
No.
We had one gig. It might have been Jesse's very first gig, where we played. My Name Is Doom was in the set list.
There it is. E string.
Yeah. Anyway, and it was very similar in arrangement to the arrangement we had worked out for the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. You remember this?
I don't.
We played.
I remember we played Wreck of the Edmund. When I joined the band, we played the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It was like the one cover that we did, and we did that like 3 shows.
Maybe at most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we played Edmund Fitzgerald first, and it was just kind of a similar feel to
My Name Is
My
Doom.
Name Is Doom. And I could not start My Name Is Doom. I couldn't differentiate and remember the arpeggio rhythm.
Well, this is
My
when
Name
you
Is Doom.
just started playing live.
Yeah, and I used to have major stage fright. When we started, Nina was like the one that was all about playing live. And I was like, no, I want to stay in my basement. I want to arrange songs.
Yeah,
I
I
used
love
to have-
playing live.
I used to have to call my dad.
I quit a band
Aw.
because we never like before I joined this one. I quit a band because we never played live.
I
We'd
need
written an entire record. We recorded like 5 tracks of it as an EP, and we never played live. And just
Whoa.
like
I like playing now live with you guys because you're like my safety net.
Aww.
You're my thunder blanket.
Aww. Under blanket.
Yeah, because I have fun with them. But
Pull that backbeat out right when it hurts.
just kidding.
I don't think I'd want to play live with another band because it'd just be too stressful for me.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm able to actually like relax enough with them because I know them and we have fun. Now I have fun playing live. But when we started, it was like a real stressor for me.
I didn't know that it would be stressful
Yeah.
for you.
And
Because
even
I was
with-
like,
but-
oh yeah, we're starting a band. We got to play live. Let's go.
But even recently, like we were at your Renaissance themed party here at your house.
Yeah.
And she was like, just play this thing. Like here's the chords, play this thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to play it. I don't know the rhythm. I haven't practiced it. And she was like, what kind of musician are you? And I think that really illustrated the difference between us.
Yeah.
Because I don't primarily view myself as an entertainer. And I don't primarily view myself as
How
somebody
can you be a
spotlight.
musician and not an entertainer?
Okay.
Because
No,
it's
no,
about
no.
writing.
I've got this. I actually
right.
like failed a job interview like 10 years ago when I was trying to get hired on to do teaching music to kids because like I was still working at the restaurant and everything, and I'm trying to
And the restraining order.
and the restraining order.
Fuck
you. And like I
It's hard to teach in a school when you can't be within 100 yards of school.
Stop it. He has children. He's on the grid.
I have a kid, you dick. But you know, I did an interview with a music school, and the like it did not go well. I'm not, you know, won't line out the finer points, but the owner of the music school said, "You're an entertainer, and I'm looking for a teacher."
What?
And that was the end of it. That was the end of the conversation. It was the most embarrassing job interview I've ever been on.
Okay, I'll be honest. To me, if someone had said that to me, I'd be like, that's totally fair because I'm not a teacher. I don't want to teach anybody, but you, that's different. I think you're different.
At that point,
I
I'd been
think
teaching piano to kids for like a year at
Right.
that point, which
So-
I'm still new at this, but it was such an embarrassing thing that I never picked up another teaching students again, and I actually haven't played piano since like 2016.
You're good
Wow.
with kids. We know you're good with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was there's a difference between music as an entertainer and music as a performer,
Right.
and it's
true,
it's
too.
not mutually exclusive or anything.
Yeah.
But it's I get it.
Yeah. I live to entertain. And part of my entertaining is the fact that I like to think that I'm a good musician. So I hope that comes out. I like to believe that I'm good. So
we all know.
I'm
are
just
good.
hoping that the audience sees that first, but then they're also like, oh, but this is really fun to watch.
Okay, let's pull back the curtain.
Because
Pull back the curtain because we have an example from today. Earlier today, we practiced our whole set.
uh-huh.
I think I'm not an entertainer. I am a teacher.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys agree that it felt good after we stopped Legion of Thunder and we went back and figured out where the vocal melodies go?
Yeah.
That stuff.
That is such a wacky fucking dynamic that I have never.
Did that feel? I stopped.
I've
us. I
never
was
thought
like,
about before.
I was like, hey, we got a couple of parts in this song that we need to figure out where they go.
Yeah.
And let's hit the top and this one little section in the middle and the end.
And to be honest, that wasn't very metal. It's like way more classical music thinking.
Grandpa's guitars.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
I don't need to be metal.
I'm just kidding.
I
don't
do.
feel like metal.
I need to be metal.
I think you're the only person of the four of us that needs to be metal.
True, that's
Yeah.
probably true. I'm the edgelord.
But am I the band teacher?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I remember all the shit, so I'm the A+ student, but
Yeah.
you're the teacher.
Jesse has an insane memory.
Yeah, I'm the class clown.
Depends
And
on if we're playing in 5/8 or not.
I can't.
And I'm
Yeah,
the
then you're the
teacher.
teacher.
You're the savant.
he's the savant. Jesse's
Yeah.
the straight A student, and I'm the class clown.
It's true.
And I'm like, oh, looks fucking lame.
I'm like, wait, but that melody wasn't quite in the right part, and he was like, I don't care.
I don't care.
The
No one cares.
Nerd.
Nerd, shut up, nerd.
I'm just gonna dance. Nobody's gonna care.
The best thing about band practice is when Nina and Josh get in fights about
Oh,
where
God.
a weird note goes.
Yeah.
The fight is always
See,
that I want a weird
One
note.
of-
And
You're-
Josh
you're-
is like, but it doesn't make any sense.
This is a 15
He's like,
year
that's not
thing.
even in the same key.
I don't care.
When we
Which,
wrote,
to be fair, I'll be honest,
Mhm.
I tend to agree with Josh on that.
That's fine.
But it is funny to watch, and I just stay silent.
That's fine.
we wrote
So-
we wrote the Night Witch in this rehearsal space in Vienna, Virginia.
Yep.
Like 13, 14 years ago, and it's me just sort of like screwing around on an electric piano.
Yep.
And Nina saying, no, like I'm trying to follow her vocal melody, right?
Because I was driving one night and I came up with the melody for the song.
I need the flat fives.
I'm like, no, flatter,
yeah.
more
But
evil.
It totally breaks out of key. So
Yeah.
It's weird, and the only reason why that actually came out, I think, is because I'm the one who wrote who figured out the chords and was like cooperating with Nina.
Yep. When
And
you cooperate with me, things are good.
yeah, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah, don't negotiate. You just
So-
accept.
Getting back to only one can rule, because we'll go through these. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance to hear the whole thing yet, but there's little quotes of Udaroth and Queen of Hell
Mhm.
throughout the EP. So the first one you hear is in the middle of Only One Can Rule. There's this section, we're doing the part where I mentioned there's a little Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner quote. This is kind of intermediate me section. Here.
Hey, Abe and Trushell.
And then we go into a little bit of Udaroth.
Just a little hint.
Sorry.
It's okay. Born and raised in Ohio, the Edmund Fitzgerald has been a part of my life since it was on the radio in the 70s. I would love to hear Isat's versions somehow. Give Josh a hug from us, says Abe and Treschel. Okay.
Yeah, we
Hug.
from Abe Mohammadi.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, Abe? And Pat Rachel. Yep.
I have lasagna. Just FYI.
Honestly, that looks really good.
And what about Mark? Nugent. Yeah, so we should have known about it. Like, so one of my friends from elementary school. It's Abe. We drank with Abe in Atlanta. She
Abe.
remembers you.
We got wasted together on cucumber flavored vodka.
Yeah, we did.
That was a great night.
They remember you.
That was a great night.
I hope to see you again
Yeah,
soon.
Abe is cool. I hope. Yeah.
Yes, and I guess we should have known about the Edmund Fitzgerald just being from Toledo. But when I went to summer camp, which Abe did not go to summer camp with me, we went into Michigan, and we actually went into the Upper Peninsula and we're on Lake Superior. We went and learned about the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is one of the worst shipwrecks ever in the Great Lakes. Well, I think it's the worst shipwreck ever in the Great Lakes, the biggest. But and also just a great song. Also a song that goes on for a very long time with only 2 parts.
I truly had no idea about this song. I've never heard it before until
Yeah.
they played it for me, and I was like, oh,
And we haven't played that song since 2010.
it's about a shipwreck. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But it's a great song.
Yeah.
Later on, I found out that Jagpanzer actually did a cover of that song. They
Ah,
recorded theirs. So
alright.
we never recorded ours. Ours is basically just like the original, but it was heavy.
Yeah.
So is there's an Udaroth quote in Cult of Udaroth as well, right?
Wow, shocker.
By the
Yeah, there it is. Jesse, is there an Udaroth quote in Cult of Udaroth?
I don't know if it's an
The
Udaroth
only
quote, but I know.
Udaroth quotes on the record.
There's
that I
one
know.
in Cast Down.
There's one in Cast Down. There's one in Only One Can Rule.
Yeah, I got that one already.
And there's another one and a song TBD that we haven't.
You're right. In
By-
Cast Down, there's a Queen of Hell quote in
But
Cast Down.
Yeah.
And you
by
know
the
her
blood,
notes.
by the flame, that's in the comic.
Yeah,
so
that's straight out of the comic. The
Yeah.
cult, the chant that
The
the
chant.
Cult of Udaroth does is in
Yeah,
his lyrics. That break in the middle of Cult of Udaroth, that was a great time in the studio
Yeah.
because that was one of several times in band history when we were mentioned in Manowar. in
Oh
the studio.
yeah.
They're like, all right, Manowar, love them, hate them, I don't care, but there's things that they do that we have referenced, and you're like, dude, okay, Nina.
Yeah.
You need to hold this note as long as possible.
Yep, as long as humanly
I
possible.
don't care how long it is. I don't care if it's ridiculous.
I don't care if you pass out.
This is the moment where people go, like when you have fans of the band, they go,
Yeah.
Nina Osagata from The Sound of Thunder holds the note in the middle of in the middle of Cult of Udaroth for like 40 seconds or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Cult of Udaroth, get to that break in the middle of the heavy section and she just holds the note. I watched her cut that and she almost passed out at the end of it.
It was
She
fun.
held it so freaking long with the vibrato and everything.
It's fun.
And I was like, you need the Eric Adams moment.
Yeah, the Eric Adams moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love Eric
So that was
Adams.
fun.
Erica Madams.
Erica Madams was my Womana War name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one I can think of was at the end of Time's Arrow. It's like one of those songs that has like 4 endings.
Oh yeah.
Where we haven't played it in so long. It's an A, right? And then you think it's over. And then it just keeps going and then ending to. Like it's, nope, it's still ending. Okay, now it's over.
No,
It's not
it's
finished.
not over.
Nope, it's not. And then you're like, it's gonna be one hit to end it. No, it's actually like 4. I don't remember.
It's
what it is,
finished.
but it's something along those
Yeah.
lines.
And I am of the mind that whenever I want to end a song, I just want to cut it out. I'm like, cut it right there.
No,
And
sometimes.
he's like, no, it has to go bump bump at the end, or people won't know it's over.
We have this constant argument about do we end the song now or do we do an Iron Maiden ending?
Yeah.
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 And also the argument over don't fucking talk over the ending. Because you got to give people like that like 2 seconds to be like,
No, they have to.
Yay!
They have to appreciate the fact that it's over.
yeah.
It's finished.
Oh, thank God.
So,
Thought that would never end.
Queen of Hell, the song, the chorus. Sing the melody to Queen of Hell.
Bow down before me, the Queen of Hell. Be worthy of my chains.
So on Cast Down, the third song on Initium,
Underneath.
you just hear in between chorus and verse when we come back to the main riff. You'll hear the Queen of Hell chorus melody on Cast Down. Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little
To
bit.
hint, because it's early in the story. She's not really the Queen of Hell
She's
yet.
not quite the queen.
She's Cecilia, princess.
Yeah.
They have plans for her. But we quote the
Princess.
we quote the Queen of Hell theme there, and then later in after chorus 1, there's that's the Uteroth riff.
I remember when we were talking with the artist at one point, and I was like, I'm sorry, I hate to be a stickler, but you have to make her butt bigger. And they were like, Nina, you just want her to look like you. And I'm like, yes.
Yes.
That's literally the point of this entire comic.
This is a vanity
This
project.
is a 100% vanity project. Why would I create this character if not to be me? Like, someone asked, if you had an animated series, who would be the voice? And I'm like,
Me, obviously.
why would I ever let anyone else do it? It's stupid.
Who said, is there anything sexier than that man strumming his axe?
Ooh, who said
Miss-
that?
Misty Knight's bionic arm.
Ooh,
That you're already Misty Knight's bionic arm. You're already speaking Josh's language.
is that
Yeah.
Boris?
It's got to be Boris.
Crap, I hope so.
It's probably Boris.
Is Misty Knight's bionic arm a euphemism for a big dick?
I'm sorry, the Soviet
However-
love hammer.
Does anybody else? Can anybody else tell me who Misty Knight is?
A Misty
What
Knight.
from Marvel?
Yeah.
It's a detective from
Luke Cage?
Brooklyn Detective. What?
Yeah, from Luke Cage.
From Luke Cage. Yeah.
Okay, all right. They know. Just checking. Just testing.
Look. You're more in the comics than I am. I watched the Netflix series of Luke Cage.
They did Misty Knight justice.
She was great. Yeah.
Misty Knight and
You wanted you wanted the Misty Knight Colleen Wing
Spinoff.
crossover spinoff.
Oh yeah, Misty Knight Colleen Wing should 100% have been a spinoff.
Yeah.
Because they were both great.
Yeah.
But
I love those series as much
Miss-
as like they're as much as people sort of like give shit of them, and they're like Daredevil's the best one, no doubt. But I love
I
the
agree.
Netflix series.
yeah.
so.
Anyway, Misty
I
Knight's.
had a dream that I was flirting with Daredevil last night.
had a dream.
I did. I had a dream I was flirting with Daredevil because
I
we were
dreamed a
both
dream.
playing in an orchestra, and he was playing the violin. And to flirt with him, I was like, "Hey, check out what I can do!" And I had multiple man powers, so I made like 4 of me, and we harmonized with ourselves.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
When hope was high and life worth living. Don't get me started.
There's like
on
2
this.
musical theater dorks in
Don't
this
get me
band.
started.
So we got through, I guess, the quotes of Udaroth and Queen of Hell on Cult of Udaroth and Cast Down.
Right.
We didn't talk about the black metal stuff.
I wanted that song to be called Black Metal Bars
Yeah.
because it was a fun. It has
If it hadn't
bars
been on
of
Udaroth,
music
on the-
that are
Well,
black metal.
Every song, at least every song, sometimes every album, if it's a themed album or a concept album, has its own musical vocabulary.
Mhm.
And one of the things we worked in on Queen of Hell that we hadn't worked in before was the black metal concept of like just throw music theory out the window and just make every chord minor. Because it's like that's the black metal sound, because like they were like 16-year-old kids that didn't know what they were doing, and they were just like, it sounds more evil.
It does sound more evil.
So
It's
instead of
great.
this is like normally if you're in E minor, you have E minor, and you're gonna have a G major and an F major, right?
Hate it.
And then
Teacher Josh.
maybe you spice it up with an F sharp and a B minor, or B major. But if you want to make a black metal and just make everything evil, you just make everything minor chords.
Yeah. Yes.
Look,
That catches my ear so much better.
I'm with Josh on this one. That only in like specific instances does that work right. Sounds like fucking garbage most of the time.
I
So-
like it.
That was where Cult of Udaroth came from. It's like
There's
what
like
about-
2-3 black metal
Yeah,
bands that I
like,
really love.
if
Billy
it
Andis, I love you so much. If anyone's in the thread, so
yeah, if any of you all are like YouTube music nerds and you watch Rick Beato, like he's one of the biggest music YouTubers. Like he talks about chords the way I do. He's just the Nashville numbers, root, minor one.
I'm from Nashville. I use the Nashville numbers.
If you have a minor root and a flat 6 major is like most natural to a minor key. We did the black metal thing for Cult of Udaroth where it's just the 6th chord becomes minor. So this is where that came from.
Yes, that's
Right.
so much
That's where
better.
the weird note comes from.
It works in context.
So much better.
In context.
I guess.
I know you. I know you're.
That just catches my ear so much more.
Should we try actually playing one?
I want to hear what Jesse's asking.
No, I know. It's like
He
it's like
looked
it's
at
like
me for a long second, like, is Justin gonna weigh in?
Should we find
It's
out
like,
if the microphone
I
actually
play
picks up
drums,
any
but I'm
drums?
still smarter than you guys think I am.
Wait, I don't think you're not smart.
No, I mean like the whole like drummer dumb thing. It's like no, Justin's not dumb. Justin's
No,
smarter.
Justin's a fucking engineer.
Yeah, he smokes me.
well,
Oh, like he like,
That's where did that come from?
He's got situational smarts.
no,
with,
because we're used to beating up Chris, God rest his soul, still alive.
Yeah.
We lost Chris.
We lost Chris.
We lost.
He just around Alexandria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Like-
10
like,
miles away.
Chris was such a great like butt of the
Sport.
joke. It's a great
He
joke.
enjoyed it. There's
Yeah.
Ian Gillan has a great quote. He says, "I only insult my friends; the rest can go to hell."
Right.
Right, and that's me because I'm that shitty. I'm the
100%.
shitty Gen Xer that expresses his love for his friends by just brutally mocking you.
We're millennials, and we
been
don't
some
like
fuck-ups
that.
on social media.
We don't like
Yeah.
bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I do.
but
You're not a millennial. You're a, what do you call it? One of those other ones, Gen Z.
I'm technically the very end of the millennials.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
no,
That
I
you're
only
Gen
say
Z.
that because like we brought this up in rehearsal before. It's like can't use the dumb drummer jokes on Justin because
Yeah.
he's an engineer and he's definitely
Quite smart, actually.
You
Yeah.
can use the dumb drummer jokes on me.
Yes.
I don't use the dumb drummer jokes on anybody. I even
Look behind
Oh.
Justin. We have quite a good collection of empties going.
What's
Hold on.
what's
If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to
those are like
open
50%
that,
me. So.
I'm gonna do one more whiskey.
what's funny is until you went down this path, when you looked at me as I was just watching this and listening, I was about to go like, all I care is boop pop. Like
The boop
the boop pop.
boop boop pop.
boop boop.
I don't care what chord you play, but can I boop pop?
So
boop pop tish.
Boop up Tish.
I was gonna say, at some point maybe we attempt to play some drums, just because you brought them out.
I don't
Um,
think it's gonna come through well.
The actual next, I think the oldest song Yeah, because before we moved in 2017, there was only one demo of Queen of Helps.
Just Legion of Thunder.
Okay, so Raph
Yeah.
said a bassist going, "I can't do the dumb drummer joke" is ... a thing.
Look, I'm the
Jesse here is a very intelligent man,
Aw.
and I won't take no shit about it.
Yeah.
But also, that was funny.
my scary dog privilege right here.
Scary dog.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
protecting me from,
Oh,
the,
nice.
from the chat. I appreciate that. He won't do it.
No, I won't. We did on our last last episode of our podcast. We officially called an end to sexually harassing Jesse
Yeah.
because we're now in the era of sexually harassing Justin.
Yeah, it's his turn.
That being said,
That being said,
Okay, so this is.
Are you really gonna do Justin's butt flaps live on?
I would prefer he not do that.
I would prefer you not do them either because you're drunk.
So this is Patty's whiskey with cherry wood.
Fire. I don't know. Jesus. And we're already over by like 15 minutes.
that's
All right, this will be our last one.
This is our celebration. Look, it took us 12 years to get this thing out.
Yeah, it's true. I just letting everyone know.
Also, Jesse has a human child at home that he likes.
Yeah.
I love my daughter, and she's probably going to
Human-
be dead
small
before
human
by
child.
the
Yeah.
time I get home. So, but still.
Okay.
You want to play some drums?
No.
Okay.
Smoky.
What is funny is so like when I'm standing in the
Oh, I like
elevator
that
at
one.
work
Ooh.
or something, I'll just always sit there like
Can we do,
right just while I'm standing.
Do you think we could do an acapella Legion of Thunder?
Try that
Are we really going to do it? Oh, sure.
Do you guys answer in the chat? Do you want us to make fools of ourselves and do an acapella version of Legion of
Yes,
Thunder?
It was
haven't
kind of
already.
funny.
You
the
have to
last time.
answer.
I'll play the main riff. This is of
That
all,
one might be my favorite.
the entire
Cherry.
record. This is the most finger twister riff.
Okay. Before you do that, in case it magically fixed itself, people in chat, when we start talking and stuff, or if like Nina, if you do the
Yeah.
over that, does the guitar die out?
You want to try just vocal and guitar?
Okay.
Yeah, because earlier
Try
we
it.
were having an issue with that. So if it's fixed, then maybe we try.
Okay.
Go for the community.
His army is coming. Who told Rossman to?
We got one comment that guitar sound is up and down. So it probably isn't working. So we'd have
Yeah.
to do it.
Volume
way
dipped
that
hard
makes
and
it-
then peaked. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get a whole system built up for this.
No, we'll just use a different. Probably.
I
use
can-
OBS or something.
I can fix it in like 10 minutes. I just didn't have 10 minutes before this and we didn't know it was a problem.
Yeah.
So
If you use like Zoom, if you try and do music on Zoom, there's automatic
there's this-
noise suppression.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not set up to do live music. And we haven't been
Well,
doing streams for very long.
YouTube
so-
streaming gives you like no toggles through the stream itself if you're going straight. It kind of expects you to use something like OBS, which is not hard to set up. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I'll
when
play
Nina's
some of
back,
this.
we'll do it.
While Nina's in the
loop.
room, I wonder if we just do instrumentals. Do you think it come through?
Ah,
Do we play
probably.
some bass?
No. Brother, I love you. No one wants to hear us. They want to hear her.
You love my riffs.
Rise up in hell to rebuild and believe. No one can Raise up your hands. A new day is dawning for you and the damned. Yours is the power. Yours is the will. You are the chosen, the legion of thunder. Torture and malice are tools of his trade. Now you can prove that the dead can be raised. You will not fumble, you will not break. This is your moment, this is the day. They storm through the gates.
Just play this today.
We won't be erased. Legion of thunder, raise up your hands. A new day is dawning for you and the damned. Yours is the power. Yours is the will. You are the chosen, the legion of thunder.
Jesse, this is your part. You're eating pizza.
You do it with my hand. Legion of Thunder, the time has come for you to stand up and fight for your right to party. No one will ever silence you. We stand as a united front against the tyranny of fear. Legion of Thunder, raise up your hands. A new day is dawning for you and the damned. Yours is the power. Yours is the will. You are the chosen, the legion of thunder. Wow! Legion of thunder. Jesse.
You're playing while eating pizza skills.
All right, I think that's probably the end of our stream.
Yeah, if you guys have, do you guys have any questions?
Yes, if you have
Last
any
minute
questions,
questions.
let us know.
I'm pretty tipsy, so
Yeah.
who knows what I could spill.
Who
If
knows?
you ask me right now,
Who knows what he might
Don't
say.
ask him anything.
ask me sensitive questions.
Don't
Yeah,
ask him
pass me the
sensitive
whiskey.
questions. He can't take it.
Man, double fisting the beer and
I
whiskey.
gotta drive him home after this.
I can drive him.
It's a
Okay,
good thing
if
it's
you're
like
sure.
a 10-minute drive. Oh,
Because then you
I think
Just
the
be- just
cherry,
Had to
the
forget
cherry
for
one is
metal.
my favorite.
So heads up, also actually, we
Are
sent
there any bands that you have mutual respect for?
Oh, many.
Many.
so
Jesus.
many.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about like bands that we consider peers,
Yeah,
like
Lords of the Trident.
Lords of the Trident,
Schumann.
Seven
Schumann.
Seven
Kingdoms.
Schumann is
Shumon.
they're right here near us.
Mhm.
Dire Peril.
Yeah.
Are they technically defunct now? But Jason.
Are
Ash-
they? Jason's like.
Yeah, but he has multiple other projects.
Okay,
Like his
yeah.
Magic the Gathering band. Anyway, Jason Ashcraft's
I
band.
didn't realize it about
Anything that Jason Ashcraft does.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything
Yeah.
that's in the Ashcraft verse.
The Ashcraft verse. The
Yeah.
Ashcraft extended
The
universe.
Ashcraft cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else are our peer bands? Locally, Siegebreaker is
Age of
badass.
Ruin.
Age of Ruin.
Age of Ruin.
Age of
God,
Ruin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Division.
Division. That they're the grandfathers of
Don't call them grandfather.
Northern Virginia. Well, we're the dads. No, we're in dad rock.
I am not. I am.
Would you say
I am not
Eye
dad.
of the
I am
Nile, even though
daddy.
they're covered?
I am daddy.
Although they kind
No,
of.
I would say Iris Divine because I wouldn't give it up like that for a tribute band. But the members of
Yeah.
Eyes of the Nile are in
Yeah.
Iris Divine.
Yeah.
And also Daniel Tidwell is the guitarist in Eyes of the Nile. He's got multiple projects. He's fantastic. Everybody in Eyes of the Nile is great. Eyes of the Nile is an Iron Maiden tribute that's local to us. They're
Mhm.
friends of ours from their various original projects.
Yes.
Who else are we? Judicator. And
Judicator.
especially when Tony was in the band.
Yeah.
And boy.
What?
I accidentally.
Yeah, I know you
named-
did.
Yeah.
You just leave it there.
Right. But,
Apologies on his behalf.
right. But
Just leave it.
the original Judicator.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton. Yeah, there's a ton. Those are the bands that we consider like pure bands.
Mega Colossus.
Mega
Yeah.
Oh,
Colossus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with like essentially naming them is that we've been
There's so many.
together for 15 fucking years, and like there are so many great like
Oh, Cab Ride Home.
Cab Ride Home.
I miss Cab Ride Home. God.
Yeah.
Recently vacated Graves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
they're like we've been together for so long. There are so many amazing bands. Like for one, like DC region locally, you know, two, the US nationally, just like amazing like progressive power metal,
Yeah.
death metal. I know y'all don't do that, but we're talking about some of them too.
Ice Giant.
Ice
Ice
Giant,
Giant.
God, yeah. Like
What are my bros who play the fantasy metal? We have like several, and they're from
We have-
Baltimore.
that's
They're
all-
all from
that's every band.
Baltimore.
you got to thin
That's
that
every
out.
band we just
Sorry,
named.
which is the one Dan's in? Dandolf.
Dandolf?
Yeah.
Are they still together?
Yes, they have.
Dandolf's in multiple bands.
Yes, but
Yeah,
Dandolf
that's
has a
like-
band with a violin player, and that's Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
well, it was Dogs and Daydreamers.
No,
but that's
no,
not
No,
a
she
band.
wasn't in Dogs and Daydreamers.
No.
It's Second Guard.
Thank you,
They
Second
put
Guard.
out an amazing
Thank
record
you.
last year.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember. It's,
I've had a few. I can't remember anything.
So yeah, but definitely Second Guard.
Yeah, Second Guard.
And then what was the question? It was who do we respect or who do
Yeah.
we consider?
All of them.
Was there-
Oh, who are we playing with in North Carolina?
we
We don't have a big
the
dick.
problem
South
is if we
Carolina?
mention them, we have respect for them.
Yes.
If we don't,
we might
we've
still.
forgotten.
We may
But-
have forgotten.
Yeah.
Also locally, I've got to shout out Metallifun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be playing with them soon.
They do metal covers, but they're very talented and they do really, really fun classic metal covers, including Iron Maiden. You got to look up Metallifun and Iron Maiden, especially Flash of the Blade. I think I want to say it's Duelists. It's one of the deep cuts off Power Slave.
That is not a main
It's
Iron
Flash of
Maiden
the
one.
Blade. Metallifun, Flash of the Blade is so awesome. We're playing with them on July 27th.
At Jimmy's.
Back in the Village is my deep cut off.
Back in the village.
Yeah.
Okay. What a funny lyric. Like back in the town.
It's
Hey.
from some sci-fi show.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I think
Bruce.
it's from
Gotcha.
The Prisoner.
Ah, the prisoner.
That's an Adrian and Bruce lyric. Yeah, that one is Adrian and Bruce. Hey, and look, it's an upgrade over the ones on the previous album. Sun and Steel and what's the dinosaur one on Peace of Mind? Quest for
Lamb.
No, Quest for Fire.
Quest for Fire.
Drawn by Quest for Fire.
So there are three kind of ridiculous jazz fusion songs that I played on, and we codenamed that project as Quest for Fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Quest for Fire is fun, but I like that Iron Maiden. That's one of the things that makes me feel better. Like, okay, we did a podcast episode of Thunder Stuff. We were talking about back to the beginning and how the guitars for Lamb of God's Black Sabbath cover were so out of tune.
Oh boy.
Like you kind of couldn't tell it was passable when they were doing the really chunky stuff. But when they did the big open chords, it was like so out of tune. It was like,
Well, I mean that still sounds.
Sorry, Missy Knight's bionic arm. I don't know if I'm allowed to say I was in Master Sword because I played on one of their records, like one song.
Hey, I
and,
was
like,
in one song on one of their
and,
albums.
like,
Yeah.
I miss them so much. I love those guys.
Well, Master Sword would be another band that we say we have mutual
Mhm.
respect for.
Yeah.
And also Lily,
Mhm.
the only person who's ever subbed for you.
Mhm.
Lily, when Nina was sick, she had bruised ribs, and she did Lily from Master Sword subbed in for a One Man Award gig.
Shut up. Shut up.
And anyway, they're great.
That was a very weird
That was
day.
very weird.
Yeah,
Good day. I had pain. Like
she had less than 24 hours notice, and Lily came and learned all the
Yep.
Manowar songs.
She
and
did.
came and did a cover gig with
I
us.
was shocked.
Dewey's
Yeah.
video of us doing well, I think it's Manowar, like us doing the self-titled one.
Manowar,
Well,
living on the
No,
road.
Born to Live Forevermore.
Yeah.
That one's still on YouTube. Thank you for doing it. Hasn't been taken down yet.
Came
But-
from the road.
But I love Master Sword, and I miss them, and I love them so much. So, 3 of the 2.5, sorry, Barry, of the guys from Master Sword have a project called All Fractions that just released released a video on Friday. Look them up on YouTube. It's their new EP is amazing. So
All fractions.
All Fractions.
I can only handle some fractions.
That sounds like our joke band. When I would joke, like I always was into like this fucking keep it 4/4. Just keep it 4/4. That's what I'm into. And Chris and Jesse would be like, no, we want to do weird time signatures, and Justin's just like,
Look, man, like for several years, time signatures were my replacement for having a personality.
So wait.
Yes.
So what is all of
The-
our solo
the
band
joke.
names?
But the joke was their band was going to be called Get Your Calculators.
Yeah. So get your calculators. Yours,
Yeah.
Josh,
Uncle Josh's Butt Rock Review.
Yeah.
Uncle Josh's Old Time Butt Rock Review.
Or Wizard Band.
or Wizard Band.
That's us.
Yeah,
We
I'm-
actually wrote a song called Wizard Band.
Yeah, I'm Nina and the Murder Lords. What is your solo project?
Slug bucket.
Slug Bucket.
Chris's, remember what Chris's was?
No.
Oh God, it was
Ashley Sugarbush.
It was consent optional.
no, that you put that in no. Optional consent for something that you put that in like my bio until I got back to you with writing a full bio. It's like Jesse Keane was in bands 32 Fuse and Lincoln County Fusion and optional consent. It's
Yeah.
like thanks, asshole.
He always said.
Yeah.
He also said you were raised by
By a
Yes,
bear.
by a special
No,
needs.
I
black
said,
bear.
Don't do it.
no,
Don't
no,
say
no,
it. Don't say
The
it.
band wasn't. It was everybody. I had a deadline to turn in their bio for the band, and Jesse missed the deadline. And I warned them. I said, if you don't hit the deadline, I will write your bio for you. So Jesse
And
missed
he
his,
did.
Jesse missed his deadline back in 2010.
Don't do
I
it.
said, Jesse
Don't do it.
Jesse was born in
Don't do it.
Jesse was
I swear
born
to
on
God.
on the hill by the old oak tree
Yeah, the old
in
oak
Scum
tree.
Bottom, Tennessee.
Scum bucket.
Scumbucket,
Scumbucket.
Tennessee, and was immediately abandoned at birth. Adopted by a black bear. He was raised in the cave, and
Gave up playing.
originally gave up playing the jaw harp for an easier instrument, the bass.
The
That's
black
what you
bear.
get. You seem hurt already, even though 15
the
years
shit
later,
I take from this
she's
band.
still hurt. You
Well,
know, but
then-
you learned to turn in your bio on time.
Here's the thing. Then we found out that Jesse's mom was seriously hot, and it became another joke. And the joke is that your mom is hot. So I don't know why you're so
I
offended.
don't know what you're talking about, Nina. It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. She is hot.
She's a beautiful woman.
I remember when I saw her, I was like, God damn.
But it
Jesse.
runs in the family. Look at this
Yeah.
beautiful man
Look at this
right
pumpkin.
here. Yeah.
Remember when I broke your back at the Voyager Rhapsody of Fire show in 2012?
I remember.
She started it.
Okay.
I started it.
Yeah, you just brought up his mom. I wasn't gonna do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't compliment your mothers. I love your mom.
All I said.
Your mom's hilarious.
My mom is hilarious. All I said is his mom is beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey Ray.
Got a super hot
I'm
mom.
not taking sides.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Ray.
Love you, Mom.
Rhythm section.
Really sorry.
Well, I guess that's the end of the stream.
Did we do it?
We did it.
What else do we need to do?
We
for
did
the
it.
stream?
We have to click that big white button that says end stream.
That says
Okay.
end stream. Yeah. Are there any more comments or anything?
Anything else?
Folks, say it ain't so.
Jesse
Jesse missed a deadline. Yeah, he did. Jesse, you're good. Normally, you're dependable. It's this one you gotta watch out for. Sometimes you got twisting his arm.
Yeah, it's true.
I did security for Manowar in Sofia, Bulgaria. Wow.
What? You did security for Manowar?
That sounds terrifying.
No. Here's the thing.
Don't ask. It was a Balkan thing. Blind people can do anything. Does Manowar need security?
That's what I want to know.
Do they not?
I don't think they need security. I think they just like the idea of having a security
I'm
guard
not
because it
saying-
makes them look like they need security.
I'm not saying they don't need security because they're not famous enough. I'm saying, do they need security because they're so buff and oiled?
I don't think
You
they
couldn't
need
catch
security.
them.
I
You
don't.
literally couldn't catch them because they would slip out of your grasp.
We could reenact this.
We could, and we will. We're going on tour in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyone want to see some Brooklyn oil wrestling?
On that note,
On that note,
Yeah.
bye
Well,
bye
enjoy
everyone.
Queen of Hell.
Cheers, y'all.
Let us know. And hold on, Justin.
I'm holding. Hold.
So we
Hold.
haven't done comics digitally before and distributed stuff, and so we sent out what I think was maybe a little too low res, actually, for the comics.
Okay.
So we're going to send a new version. Check out the comics. Let us know what you think. We did a very portable, smaller file size. If you all want a bigger file size, we can do that.
Hold on.
And
What's up, Jesse?
yeah, what you looking at, Jesse?
For those of you who are in Baltimore, we are playing there a week from Friday in Towson at the Record Theater. We're playing the day after on Saturday at Lucky 13 Saloon, which
Brooklyn, New York.
is one of my favorite fucking
the
Oh,
melodies.
hold on.
26th.
This stream isn't even nearly done because we're playing with 2 guitarists on July 25th.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
We
right.
haven't even talked about that yet.
Okay.
And Nina
Yeah.
wants this guy to join the band.
Oh shut up.
We haven't discussed this in private. Let's do this.
No, let's do it publicly right now. I love
Sebastian. I love what's his name?
old what's his name? Is
Sebastian.
I love
Yeah,
old
right.
what's his name.
I love Sebastian.
And he's great. He came in like ready and knew the harmonies and stuff already.
He's amazing.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was definitely cool for all the power metal-y stuff. It was a little weird for me on the stuff that's more open. I'm gonna be honest.
Listen, I know you've never been in a guitar two-way before, but you just gotta let it in and accept it. And
I'm not worried about the two-way. I'm worried about, are you ready to get a guitar from both ends?
yes, I always have been. I went to
So-
college.
So, it's 2010. It's Jackson, Springfield, Virginia. We're selling tickets for a touring headliner. It's 2025. We're selling tickets for a touring headliner. We're opening
extremely Dr. Manhattan energy, but
Yes,
we're here
selling
for it,
tickets
so.
and opening for Plush on July 25th in Towson, Maryland.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
buy tickets from
What
us
I
if
was
you're
saying,
coming.
Plush. We're playing a Plush in Townsend, Maryland, at the Record Theater on the 25th. 26th, we're playing in
Lucky
Lucky
13.
13 in
Brooklyn, New
Brooklyn. And the 27th, we're playing at Jimmy's in Herndon.
Yes, for
But the
Metal Fest.
25th is the only show with 2 guitarists.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
So
y'all
I would
should
say I love Sebastian. He's a great guy,
Mhm.
and it's not a test because we never said,
We haven't discussed this. Let's discuss this off of.
No, why?
the internet.
come. I love the idea that he's drunk enough to
Hold on a
take my
second.
side, though.
There's no reason that this needs to be private.
Does it?
No, I
Justin,
don't-
please.
No way, dude. Come on. Come on.
Oh my god.
I feel like this is public. We should throw this open. Would it be a Sound of Thunder if we had 2 guitarists?
Christ.
You tell us.
Why not? What's the matter?
Give
with
us
making it
your
public?
opinion.
I want to talk about this because I've spent the last 15 years
Oh.
I've spent the last 15 years being the bass player that keeps this band from not having to have a second guitarist. So,
This is good information. Let me
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. These people may respond. You may respond. Are we a Sound of Thunder with 2 guitarists?
Yeah.
But let me tell
we
you
are
all.
we are a Sound of Thunder with 2 guitarists.
But hold on a second. You all in the stream should know I value your opinion,
Mm.
but your opinion means shit compared to this man's opinion. So
Can we have a second drummer?
can we have
Yes.
Chris? We could get Chris to play 2 second drums on certain songs. That would be fucking badass. If you guys-
Kylesa, look them up. They have two
Yeah,
drummers. They're
yeah.
sick. Well,
So-
and the Allman Brothers.
So I feel
Can
like these are my okay. So the drums have obviously changed, but the drums are always behind me, so it's a little different.
So I don't give a shit about that.
I don't really, I don't care who's hitting the boom bap behind me.
Wow.
you forgot the push.
Then the push.
Wow.
Yeah.
Push.
Now, Justin is actually capable of making faces while he plays drums, so sometimes I can turn around and he'll actually smile at me.
That was not the case with
Chris's face was frozen like a stroke.
Frozen in rage.
Anytime I would turn around.
Right.
So this is Justin. Come on, these are like basically like our investors. Why not throw this open to public?
How many
discourse?
investors do
We're
we have
still-
watching us?
we're
Still
still
22.
well,
we did
investors.
say buy, so several months. It's
Yeah.
22.
Okay.
This is still like, we still make the final decision, but we want the input, right? So would it be a Sound of Thunder? Would it be weird if we had another guitarist across
Would
the
it be
No.
weird?
To
But,
me,
like,
it would be
you-
weird.
You write 2-part guitar harmonies for the record that you don't ever get to play because we don't have a second guitar player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I've been sitting here for the last 15 years trying to make sure that we don't need a second guitar player because that's always been a thing. We're never going to have one.
We have a certain amount of looseness that we can do, a certain amount of freedom because there's not another guitarist where we can stretch out.
Yeah, but imagine if we had.
Have we
another
even
guitarist.
offered this to
We-
Sebastian?
No,
Wait,
we're
hold on,
talking
hold
about
on.
this without him.
It's not his choice.
just
He's
want
in
to
the
say,
band or he's not. It's up to us.
We
It
have-
doesn't matter if he wants to be in the
we
band.
have a certain
Whatever
amount
we
of.
decide
That's
will
what we
happen.
said about you, Jesse. It doesn't matter if you want to be in the band. You are here
Yeah.
forever.
We have a
Living in
certain
a body
amount of
bag.
freedom, but God forbid Justin moves the snare from 2 to 3.
No. No. You're in my space on the stage now.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to be able to do a spin, or a little pirouette here and there.
A little pirouette.
all right,
But-
all right, Adrian.
Yeah, but I feel like most people probably wouldn't care. One or two guitars, it doesn't matter. It's all about me, whatever, right? For me, if I'm gonna play guitar and there's gonna be a second guitarist there, I'm actually less free. I've learned. We've rehearsed with with Sebastian twice, and I'm like, oh, I can't just do whatever I want. With two guitarists here, I have to make sure I stay within the chord at all
That's true.
times.
That's true.
It's a little oddly less free. It's more full,
Mhm.
but I don't have the freedom to just go off. So I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Do I want to let that go? I don't know. It's but it's undeniably more full, especially when we play the power metal.
It
stuff.
sounds. It's
I think it sounds
in the
amazing.
basement. It sounds fucking
But
great.
here's the thing. I'm an old man at heart, right?
At
we
just in
have-
heart.
We got power, and also literally, but we have power metal songs.
Yeah.
Which immediately fits right in on No Work Necessary.
Yeah.
But that stuff that kind of straddles the line between rock and heart and metal, like It Was Metal, the song. Ironically, It Was Metal is less metal than some of our, like Queen of Hell or Udaroth, right? It Was Metal is on that line.
Define metal.
Define metal.
It's on that line between.
God, that's a
Right?
4-hour stream of its
Yeah,
own.
I don't want to.
So Sebastian's tone.
There's a
It's
large
like-
sword right there.
there are
It's like,
many
just cut
swords.
me
You got
off.
a mighty
Right?
big mouth to fit it down right now, Josh.
I do. Do I have to train this young man to play on the line between rock and metal? Because his tone is way too hot.
Are you pointing at me? I don't have
No.
tone. I'm the drummer.
No, so you guys tell me. Did you agree? I thought he immediately sounded awesome.
Josh
having
is
two
drunk.
guitars.
Please keep that in mind if you're watching this. Sebastian.
Listen,
Yeah,
we're a
this is great.
Excuse
This is
me.
excellent streaming content.
we're a people's band, and you're our
the
Kickstarter
people's
backers,
we are the people's
The people's-
right? I said a people's band.
The
right?
people.
So,
They've gotten the question. There's feedback.
is there feedback?
Yep,
let
read the
me
feedback.
finish. You can't keep interrupting me.
Hold on.
Let me keep going. May I?
We had fun.
Can I
we
finish?
should see
Can I
the
finish?
people
Can I finish?
that come
Please
to
continue.
Baltimore what they say.
Please continue.
That is
sir.
true, right? So Sebastian, second guitars, immediately fit in and sounded badass on Queen of Hell, A Sound of Thunder, and Udaroth, which are full-on metal tracks, right?
Mhm.
It Was Metal, the song, is like kind of straddles that line between like metal and rock,
Mhm.
where like the verses come way down,
Yes.
right? And his tone was way too hot.
Okay, but that's something that you
Right.
discuss later and then you fix. If this is something you would
You
like
think
to
we
do.
could?
Not
Yes.
on a live
Right?
stream.
No, we
Not
could.
on a live stream.
No, because
I agree.
Here's the thing, because this is what I'm sure about. Sebastian is a good dude.
Yes.
And we were just to be totally honest with him. He'd be
He's-
like, hey man, we're not always a full-on 100% metal band. Sometimes we need to bring it down a little bit.
I think
Right.
he'd be cool with
And I
that.
think I know he could do it.
Yeah, I
We
agree.
have that discussion.
I agree, but we should have this discussion.
No, we have it right now in front of everybody.
All right. I truly hope Sebastian is watching this
Here's
right
what-
now and terrified.
I know. The reason,
Like,
listen,
what have
Sebastian.
I done?
The important thing is that
The
Sebastian
important-
knows. The important thing is that Sebastian knows that he has no agency, and it's up to us.
Well,
Whatever happens to you and your ass is being decided right here, Sebastian.
On that note,
Yeah.
that's all,
So,
folks.
that's
Good night.
all, folks.
Yeah.
See you next
See
time.
you on the 25th.
See ya.
Tell us in Maryland.